A fierce hailstorm has swept through southeast Queensland, catching many by surprise and leaving a trail of damage in its wake. The skies darkened over the Darling Downs and Granite Belt before midday, as a potent combination of warm, moist air and strong upper-level winds set the stage for dramatic weather. Local meteorologists warned that conditions were primed for dangerous thunderstorm development, and the eruption began in earnest. In towns such as Pratton, Clifton, Nobby, and Mount Walker, hailstones measuring up to 9 centimeters in diameter pounded the landscape. Cars were dented and windows shattered when the icy missiles impacted. One driver escaped unhurt after a power line snapped and crashed onto a vehicle near Clifton. Trees bowed and roofs buckled as gusts of wind surged, in one area hitting over 100 kilometers per hour. Many residents describe the sound of hail hitting corrugated iron roofs like continuous gunfire, a terrifying soundtrack to the afternoon sky. Hundreds of emergency calls flooded services. Crews responded to incidents of structural damage, downed power lines, and fallen trees across the region. Thousands of homes were plunged into darkness as electricity networks struggled under the stress. In the Brisbane metropolitan area and surrounding suburbs, power outages persisted well into the evening. Communities that had just begun recovering from previous wild weather were once again in the cleanup zone. Inside homes and businesses, the sense of violation was palpable. Furniture and flooring ruined by water seeping through damaged ceilings, vehicles nicked and gouged by hail. Rainwater flooded low-lying areas in seconds.
Holy shit!
Forcing hurried sandbagging operations and impromptu evacuations of basements and garages. The atmosphere remained charged. Flashes of lightning, booming thunder, and bursts of torrential rain added to the feeling of urgency. Meteorological authorities flagged that the most intense activity may yet lie ahead. They issued very dangerous thunderstorm warnings for areas extending from the Sunshine Coast, hinterland down through Ipswich and the Lockyer Valley, into the scenic rim and inland towards Toowoomba. The danger was compounded by the possibility of isolated tornadoes forming within the larger storm cells. Residents were urged to monitor alerts, seek shelter if necessary, and secure outdoor items that could become projectiles in wild gusts. In some southern localities, the storm failed to clear quickly. Additional thunder cells formed along the cold front, bringing further heavy rain and renewing flash flood risk. Creeks and rivers that rose rapidly overnight created hazards, especially in areas already saturated from earlier falls. Rural farms reported damage to crops and equipment, hail flattening paddocks, barn roofs ripped open, irrigation systems damaged. Amid the chaos, everyday scenes stood out. A family gathering inside a lounge room, watching hail batter the windows. A school fair interrupted mid-afternoon by an unexpected deluge and hail assault. Emergency service vehicles rushing past homes with red lights flashing, heading towards roof collapses and downed lines. In the aftermath, the scale of repair work loomed large. Insurance assessors began counting up the cost of smashed windows, dented vehicles, and leaky roofs. Councils mobilized crews to clear fallen trees and restore power lines. For many living in the storm belt of southeast Queensland, the event served as a reminder that the next big one can arrive fast, with little warning, and with a hailstone the size of a rolled-up sock turning into something far more destructive. But alongside the damage, incident management teams emphasized the positive. No confirmed fatalities linked to the storm's hail core, and many residents heeding warnings in time. The fact that several severe weather alerts were issued ahead of the height of the system likely helped reduce the worst outcomes. Now the focus turns to daylight recovery, assessing the damage, and preparing for any lingering showers that might hamper cleanup.
That's right over the top.